A lot of people have kind of raved about your off season. Have you felt a difference in yourself being out here?
Yeah, for sure. More comfortable, kind of know what I'm doing. I know what they expect of me, and I know what I had to fix from last year. And obviously, it's a continuing process that I'm gonna go through this whole camp, and obviously, hit it off in the season.
Trey, what did you improve on? Well, I know what we can see, but I'd love to hear from your perspective.
Yeah, I think I kind of changed my body a little bit. Uh, I was a little down on weight last year, so put on a little more weight, just to be able to handle the duties of, playing outside receiver, playing everywhere, doing a lot of different things. Um, just catching a ton of footballs. I mean, I can't tell you how many I've caught. Just continue to do that, and just doing a little bit of studying. Of the opponents that we're going to play this year. You have your iPad and that type of thing. So just being prepared way ahead, knowing what they're going to do, it helps me be at the best of my game.
Can you kind of tell us what the difference is as a receiver, versus getting a ball from Aiden versus getting a ball versus Gardner, and kind of what quarterbacks bring to the table as far as, leading this team?
Yeah, it's actually funny because one of my mentors, coaches, always told me, like, it doesn't matter who's throwing the ball. It's our job to catch it. It's our job to get their name in the paper. So I don't really notice a difference of who's throwing the ball. I kind of just go in the huddle and whatever play's called, just try to execute it. And at the end of the day, come down with the football.
Trey, Aiden mentioned that you both were in Vegas this offseason and you had an opportunity to practice. How important was that and how helpful was it coming into training camp?
Yeah, it was super important. That's my guy. It's surreal. Last year when we came in, we both were on field too, over there, just trying to learn the playbook. Now we're out there starting it off and throwing this offseason was huge with him because I kind of really got to know him as a person, and that's kind of all we did, 3-4 times a week in the morning, and very beneficial.
Follow-up question to that. You mentioned that you had changed your body a little bit, and we kind of noticed some of the change on him. Did you guys kind of look into nutrition together or something like that?
He's a quarterback, so what he's got going, I don't think we were gonna look at each other just because I'm a different position than he is. But I know he's definitely added some muscle. It was actually a funny joke last year when we went to, it was an event. And some guy made a comment about his legs. He was like, "Hey, man, your legs, you got to get them bigger." So he was like, probably going to do a lot of calf raises every day. So this offseason, he attacked the whole thing, and he looks great.
Aiden has talked warmly about you, the person, off the field as well. What is it about the two of you and your friendship?
Um, that's a good question. I think it's just like I was saying earlier, you come in together, as a rookie in the NFL, it's probably one of the hardest things, just because you're thrown in the fire and, that type of thing. And, you just want to be a quarterback's best friend, and like we just hit it off kind of, same-minded off the field, which kind of helps us click on the field, So, yeah, that's what I say.
Did today feel like camp for you? Did it feel like it was a little bit more intensity was ramped up a little bit?
I would say, I think it's, yeah, each day, it's a little more ramped up. I obviously put the shells on, but that doesn't really mean anything. I think, for me, every day I kind of take that approach that it's going to be ramped up. When you got the defense that we have, that's just going to be what it is. So I'm excited to get in pads, I'll tell you that.
You guys have made a point of emphasis to work on the red zone. You've started, these last 2 days have been real red zone heavy. How important is that side of the field, and how important is it for you guys to get that part of the field right?
It's super important. You're right. Like, we put a big emphasis on that because you got to be able to score points in the red zone, and we kind of struggled with that last year, and that'll be something that, that's the difference between a win and a loss. So definitely put an emphasis on it. It get kind of frustrating because, the defense tightens up and that kind of thing, but it's very good for us because that's a very good defense we have on the other side.
Trey, you talked a lot about things that you worked on in the offseason. What goes into translating that to the practice field and kind of more game-like situations?
These football things, obviously Tay is like a big brother to me. I spend a lot of time with him, and pick his brain, and I always ask him, what do you do in the offseason? People really never see what he does in the offseason, but he comes in and it's like, what do you do? Because no one ever sees it. So just do a lot of football stuff, football things that translate, running routes, working releases, catching the football with, distractions, that type of thing, because that's the stuff that's going to translate.
Well, you talked about the defense a lot. It seems like they're talking a lot, they're dancing a lot. Like, how much does that kind of help get the competitiveness going out there?
It's great. It's great, and that's what you want because, for us to see a top NFL defense every day like that is huge. And, defense are typically, I would always say, a little bit ahead starting off, but when we get in pads, I think we'll ramp it up on him a little bit, and we'll quiet the little talking down. So, yeah.
He referenced this though earlier today when he talked about seeing some of that from the offense. Now, of you guys getting excited, is it creating that type of atmosphere in the offensive huddle?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we want to put an emphasis on when we score, celebrate. So the funny thing is, there was a ball thrown in the end zone yesterday. I think it was on this side, and we celebrated. Everybody was, turned up and everything, and it pissed them off. It pissed the whole defense off. That's all they kept talking about. So they went and reviewed it, and it was like, oh, that wasn't a touchdown. That's all they were talking about. So anything we can do to get under their skin.
The DBs have made a lot of strides from last year to this one. How would you compare going up against them from the end of last year to now, the strides they've made?
Yeah, obviously we got Jack Jones, but I'm really impressed with JB. Obviously another rookie last year. He's just taking a whole different approach to it, and a guy like that, I'm excited to see him blossom. But more on Jack, man. He's a guy like you go out there and it's like your antennas just go way up, just because he's a spunky type player. He wants to jump the route. He's eyes in the backfield, that type of guy. But I think just his overall IQ and demeanor, is really going to help him, and I think he'll be one of the best corners in the game.
You guys signed Michael Gallup this offseason, and he retired. I mean, that was a guy that was probably going to be around, kind of the same snaps, kind of competing for you. So when you hear that, what do you think? And I guess does that open more opportunities for you going forward?
Yeah, I mean, Michael, me and him were really cool, man. I was actually bummed to hear that just because how good of a guy he was. But for me, obviously knowing this is the NFL, no matter who's here, they're gonna bring someone in. So it's always gonna be a competition, and it's kind of my job to. It's my job to lose, So I'm going to take that approach, and whoever we bring in, whoever we get, just know that I'll keep my head down and keep working.
Cameron Richards is somebody that's been playing with the ones and twos over on that side of the field. What are your thoughts or impressions of the young cornerback?
I was actually just talking to him a little bit earlier. He's going to be really good. Obviously, he just got here, so I didn't really mention him then, but I love him. He's a very long guy. He's aggressive, and he can run. That's the thing, I love to see about a DB that are aggressive and they're not scared to hit, scared of contact. Obviously, I had a few snaps against him today in one-on-ones, and it's really just a test for me because obviously I'm a smaller, faster guy, but he's a longer guy. So those type of guys want to get hands-on, and I think he's going to be really good.
You have potentially more opportunities in the kicking game with the new rules this year. How exciting is that for you, and what have you kind of seen out of what that can mean?
Yeah, obviously we're trying to hammer away at the thing just because it's different, I guess the first thing that comes to my head is how am I going to play with that on Madden, just because it's different. But I'm excited. Any way I can get the ball in my hand, I think, it's great for me. So whatever they ask me to do, whether it's kick return, punt return, both, I'm great with it.
How will you handle it on Madden?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. How do you play that? It's how you kick the ball off a man and you double tap A or whatever, but I'm just curious to see how that's going to work. So
Let's do one more, guys. One more.
Tre, we've heard from the defense on what their reaction to the potential record of the Raiders is. Have you all heard about it? How did you guys handle it?
Yeah, I've heard about it a little bit. I try to not really dive too much into what's on social media just to keep the main thing. But that's just the way it is. They're going to say that until we prove them otherwise, but obviously we got to prove ourselves right, and we know what we got in the building. So no matter what we do, just keep coming in and working hard every day and achieving the ultimate goal.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Tre.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We're just talking to Tre. Can you talk about his development that you've seen as a receiver this offseason?
Tre, man, I don't think anybody worked harder than Tre this offseason. He had goals that he really focused on, and he went and accomplished them, I feel like. He catch the ball so much better, his routes so much better. He's strong as hell now. He like a good football player.
Early in camp, it looks like you guys are really emphasizing red zone. You guys have gotten after it the last couple of days in that period. How important is that part of the field, and how important is it for you guys to get that right this year?
That's probably the most important, honestly. That's the toughest part of the field. Less space, less time. I feel like if we can capitalize in the red zone, we'll be a much better team this year.
Jakobi, you seem to be having an outstanding camp. I'm just curious, do you feel like you're kind of in the zone right now?
It's a little early. My leg's fresh right now, so I better look good, all the work I put in. But we'll see around like day 10. Ask me again, I'll let you know.
How would you describe the difference in going up against Jack and Jakobi now from this time maybe last year?
They just growing up. I feel like the more you're around the game, the more you kind of figure yourself out. I could tell that they're two different play styles, but they both trying to play to their strengths. It's just my job to go against them and really push those strengths and make sure they got them locked down.
You and Jack specifically seem to have some battles today. I know it's still early, but are you two really trying to bring the best out in each other?
Whoever I go against, Jack, Jakobi, and you, anybody, man, whoever lining up, we gonna try to get better.
How much talking would you say that you two do on a play-to-play basis?
I do a lot of talking, but it's whispering, really. Like, you know what I'm saying? I slowly or quietly say something to you, but I'm not gonna say it too loud.
You did say it was a touchdown on that. I think it was a one-on-one drill.
Oh yeah, I had to make sure he knew that one. I had to, for sure.
You've been up against a lot of really good defenses, like in your career, even dating back to the Patriots to now. You know, what is it about this defense, even this early in training camp, that really stand out to you?
I think they play really well together. You know, like the D-line is what the D-line is. Like, they dangerous. At the end of the day, like, everybody on the back end do a great job of fielding behind them. Like, they come downhill, they make plays on the ball, so they really do fit well together. It's fun going against them because it just makes us better.
It seemed like this was the offseason where people around the league started to talk about you more and kind of give you your flowers, I guess, for lack of a better term. I mean, did you feel that, and is that something that meant something to you?
I couldn't really tell you. I don't really be on social media too much. A lot of the guys did tell me that people were starting to notice, so it made me feel good when my teammates know because they know how hard I'm going, and I'm really trying to make the team the best that I can. So, but the rest of everybody else is just appreciate it, but I can't do nothing with that.
You guys came down here to make sure you guys bonded as a team on and off the field. How do you feel that that's coming along so far?
It's early, but at the same time, but I love being around the guys, honestly. Like, I've been happy since we got here. I get to talk to the boys, go out to eat with them, chill with them, just get away, man. It's been cool.
I know you said it's early and your legs are fresh in camp, but you know, Coach Pierce, even Gardner Minshew mentioning, just what a standout you've been so far. Do you feel like you are taking a step forward, even from the levels you've been at in the past? What do you think they're seeing that's making them say that?
I don't know. I mean, I hope I'm getting better. I hope it's showing, but shit, it really ain't about me for real. It's, as long as the offense look good and as long as I'm where I'm supposed to be in the right moments, I'm gonna be okay. That's all that matters to me.
It's early, so have you set any goals for the season yet?
Nah, not yet. We're gonna see that. We're gonna see. I'll let you know.
How's it like getting the ball from O'Connell and then getting the ball from Minshew? Like, how does that go as far as your just maturation and them as well?
The ball don't really care who throw it. You know what I'm saying? Just put it somewhere around me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't just throw it somewhere around me. I'm gonna do my best to catch it for real.
All good, guys? All right, thanks, Joe.
Appreciate that.
We got Marcus up next, guys.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Have a good one.
Marcus, last year when we talked to you at this point, you said you saw potential in this defense coming over from Philadelphia, and sure enough, you're right. I mean, this defense turned out to be really good. What was it about that that turned it around, and also, do you feel like it's something that you guys can now build on this year?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we just reached a point last year where, the chemistry came together. Everybody started trusting each other, trusting the plan, trusting PG. So I feel like that led into a lot of how we were able to play toward the end of last year. And then this year, I feel like, we all feel like we can really build off of those last few games. And I feel like, these first few days of camp, we've been doing that. We've been bringing energy, and, I like where we're at right now.
Marcus, speaking of the chemistry, how far has that come along with you and Trayvon Moehrig, since even the end of last season into now?
It's come a long way. I mean, I feel like me and Trey, we kind of clicked right away, and we were able to kind of get that chemistry going. And I feel like since last year, since I got here, it's just been building every day. And I like where we're at right now with that. We've kind of gotten on that level where we're starting to just be on the same wavelength and know what the other person is doing. So, that's always a good thing in terms of communication with your safeties.
Marcus, I know last year is last year, but you guys had to carry this offense a lot. Do you see the explosion? Do you see it improvement on the offense? I know it's early, but are you seeing it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody on that side of the ball is working hard. There's so many playmakers over there. And, I know they're going to do what they need to do. My job is to focus on what I need to do and what the defense needs to do. And I know all the leaders on the offensive side of the ball, they're going to do what they need to do on that side and continue to work each day.
Seems like Jacorian Bennett is a player that's, improved a lot going into year two. What sort of growth have you seen from him?
He's been doing a great job. I mean, even since last year when he first got here, came into camp, young guy, had a lot of confidence, was doing very well, seen a lot of things in him. And, his rookie year might not have gone the way he wanted to, but I feel like he's got his confidence back. He worked really hard this offseason, man, and it's really showing out here. So I'm really proud of him and how far he's come, and feel like he can really be an elite corner in this league.
Talk about how competitive it is against the offense. It's gotten really competitive in the red zone these last couple of days. How can what you guys are doing defensively help the offensive here?
Yeah, I feel like we're throwing a lot at them. I feel like PG's giving a lot to us to throw at the offense, give them different looks and things like that. So, and they're doing the same. They're doing a lot of motion shifts. That West Coast offense is very tough to defend. So, when we got two groups going at it like that, competing, it's only going to make us better.
Seems like a lot of the team drills, it seems like it's a party for the defense because they're dancing and talking and showing the swag a little bit. I mean, how much fun has it been, and how important is that for you guys to feel that way on defense?
It's been a lot of fun, man. We're bringing a lot of energy, and that's what we're supposed to do on the defensive side of the ball, especially. We feel like we have an opportunity to be an elite group, but we got to continue to put that work in every day, bring that energy every day, and keep growing every day.
I know you're dialed in no matter what the situation is, but when it does get to the red zone, is it just a little bit heightened in terms of the dial in?
Yeah, definitely, and that's one thing that PG has been stressing to us is that we got to improve our red zone defense this year. He's put a lot of attention and energy into it, and we've been doing the same. So we understand that's an area we need to improve. So it's something that we've made a point of emphasis to come in every day. We have red zone periods to come in, focus, and lock in and improve in those areas.
Speaking of energy, how much energy have you got from your new position coach, Gerald Alexander, and even Ricky Manning as well?
A whole lot, man. They bring a whole lot of energy, but even more importantly, they bring a whole lot of football IQ, and that's been a real good thing for us. Just learning ball, just constantly learning ball each and every day. I feel like GA especially has been doing a great job with that, and it's just really, really helping me continue to grow as a player.
As a leader and an elite player, how much do you like, though, having a coach who's done it? So it's been there, done that. Does that improve it? Is it better?
Yeah, definitely. When you're going with a guy that's been in your shoes, it makes it easier, especially when you're having those conversations of, hey, what did you see out there, or why did you do this or make this decision? Because he's been in your shoes and he knows what it's like, so it definitely makes those conversations easier.
You talk about the progression that you've seen Isaiah Palomalu make in that safety room and what he really brings to you and Trayvon's game.
He's been doing a great job, man. Since last year, he's been working really hard. He's been trying to each and every day just continue to learn. I think that's the biggest thing I've seen from him is it's very good in a young guy to see them just crave learning and crave to improve their football IQ, and I feel like he's been doing that since last year, and he's just been growing and growing. So I'm really proud of how far he's come, and I feel like he's another guy that we expect to make a jump this year and help this defense out as well.
Isaiah got that pick today. You got one yesterday. Trey got one yesterday. When are the safeties going to let the corners get in and get intercepted?
Hey man, on defense we don't care who gets the pick as long as we all celebrate, happy for each other, just making plays as a defense, and it's a real tight knit group. So I really like where we're at in terms of chemistry and bringing that energy each day.
So Trey mentioned that yesterday you all were kind of upset about that touchdown at the end, and you went and reviewed it. You took it personal. Is that kind of like the attitude you have going into this camp?
Yeah, I feel like AP's really brought a mindset of competing. No matter who you are, where you're at on the roster, bring that mindset of competing like you're competing and fighting for your job every day. And I feel like everybody on this team has really, took that to heart and come each day ready to compete. And it's all love at the end of the day. We're a team, it's a brotherhood. But when we step in between those lines, we're still trying to compete. And that's the only way you get better. So I really like where we're at in terms of coming to work each day and bringing that competitive mindset.
Was there an official ruling
to get the equipment going? Oh, was there an official ruling?
Was there an official ruling on what was it, a touchdown?
Oh yeah, he was out of bounds.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good one.
Thank you too.
What's up?
Tyree, when you got picked, the original plan for you was to redshirt, basically redshirt, but things obviously changed. But at the end of the year, your health was getting better. Are you 100 now and you physically look better and different? Can you just talk about your health and where you are physically?
Yes, I come back, I didn't really have a training camp last year, but, I'm not worried about last year. I'm worried about this year, and I'm here healthy, just here to get better here in Costa Mesa, and that's all I'm focused on.
How do you feel it's gone for you these first couple of days as you kind of work your way into back into shape and everything else?
You know, I feel like the first day was a little slow, just getting back into the football mindset and, you know, technique and stuff like that. But as the weekends went on, I progressed and, you know, I start, you know, feeling more comfortable and, you know, starting to take that leap, as people would say.
Obviously, you guys don't have pads on yet. What's the main focus for you in these kind of practices?
Man, just really just hand placement. I feel like that's big. You know, that stops a lot of problems, and just pad level.
Max has talked at length and Christian has talked at length about taking you under their wing. What has that just been like from your side of things to experience that with those guys?
Man, it's great. You know, they did things at the highest level. You know, every time I do a rep, you know, I try to ask Max, hey, did you see it? Hey, Christian, did you see it? What could you take away from it to, you know, to take my game to another level? So it's good to not only have a great coach like Robbie, but to have those two dudes in the room to help get me to that higher stage quicker.
To be able to spend these days with them, even off the field, how important is that?
It's important. You know, we're close, but you're never too close. So that brotherhood here and be able to bond outside the ball is, you know, it's big. You know, you get to know each other off the field and, you know, how different people are wired and how to communicate with different teammates.
Early on in camp, who are some players maybe on the offensive side, whether it's offensive line or skill players, that have really, you feel, challenged you and the rest of the defense so far?
Man, I feel like the whole offense, you know, we come here to sharpen our iron. You know, they might win a play and we might win a play, but, you know, you got to come back, you know, ask them, hey, man, what you see right here? And then, you know, they might do the same thing. So the whole offense, I feel like, has come in wanting to get better, just like the defense.
What was the benefit of going to the SAC Summit at UNLV a couple of weeks ago for you personally?
Man, it's really just getting the mindset of guys like Cam Jordan, Von Miller, Max, everybody at the summit to really to get what they thinking when they're going into a game, to set up pass rush moves, and, you know, to basically see what they're thinking throughout the game, and not just, you know, watch the tape, but actually get them one-on-one.
Tyree, you seem very comfortable at defensive tackle and end. Do you prefer one over the other, or do you enjoy them both?
Man, I enjoy both. I feel like that's me. Versatility, to be able to play all over. You know, I took that role on as, you know, they bumped me inside. You know, I like it, and then, you know, I like playing outside.
I know you said last year doesn't matter, it's about this year, but how excited are you for this season to show what you can do?
Man, I'm really excited, not only for me, but, you know, to have Christian and Max around me and Malcolm, just to feed off each other, you know, to push me to be better and then to also push them.
You've been around Max for a while now, obviously, but Christian's new. What have you learned the most out of being around him the last few months?
Christian? Yeah. Man, Christian's a funny dude, but, you know, when he gets on this field, you know, he's going to enjoy ball. He loves ball, but he also going to come out here and work, and he's going to push the other guys to follow his lead.
Going back to the SAC Summit thing, it feels like a lot of the conversation was about the mental side of pass rushing. What strides do you think you've made from that, not just the physical side, but the mental side of rushing?
Man, it's big. I feel like the mental is big in the game of pass rushing, because, you know, the offensive line, you really just playing with the offensive tackle the whole time, you know, baiting him to think you're doing one thing and, you know, you do another. So I feel like that's a big part of pass rushing.
You look at your rookie class, you know, you have Jacorian, you have Tre, you have a lot of guys in that group that are really expecting to step up and take big roles. What's the challenge that you feel like you guys take on as a unit of really stepping up in that regard, of taking that lead?
Man, we're not rookies no more. So, you know, we had a little leverage last year, but this year, you know, people are counting on us. The whole team's counting on us. So we gotta come up to the plate and be able to the big role players on the team.
Just a follow-up question: do you feel yourself ready to step up to that plate?
Yes, of course.
When you talk about Max and Christian, what they do, they don't only make plays, but they tell you about it. Like, they'll tell everyone, they're going to show everyone, they're going to tell the offense. I mean, I guess how much fun is it to be around that, and how contagious is it for you guys to want to, you know, make plays and to get in on the party kind of stuff?
Man, I feel like that's just the identity of the room now, you know, to make plays and to enjoy it, and then come back and do it again and every day. You know, you got to have it's a standard every day to come out here and enjoy the game and improve it.
All right, thanks, Terry.
Thanks, Terry.